Welcome to Tarot Tuesday for the week of January 13th. This is for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising. So if you know your other two signs, you can check out those readings if this one doesn't resonate with you. All right, Pisces, you are entering in your pre-shadow by the end of this week's readings. We are going to trickle into Aquarius season, leading this pretty strong Capricorn stellium moment. We're going to start that trickle on the 17th when Venus moves into Aquarius. I said that weird, that's okay. And the next day we have a new moon in Capricorn. So any energy that you want to harness from this Capricorn season, you can use that new moon to really jump into new beginnings in prioritizing what matters to you, yeah? Okay, because then Aquarius season, your pre-shadow technically starts on the 19th when the sun moves into Aquarius. And while the next reading, the next Tarot Tuesday, is going to be on the 20th, that day is when we fully launch into the stellium because Mercury will be moving into Aquarius that day. And we also have a sextile between Saturn and Uranus. Uranus has been retrograde since about the middle of last year, and we are going direct. Uranus is going direct on sometime in early Aquarius season. So that energy of Uranus is being, that sextile is this moment for us to catch like where old traditions are working for us now and how can we modernize them. What can we let go so that new systems for the better of humanity, because they're outer planets. Uranus is about revolution. So that is where the planets are at. That's where the collective is at. And so letting you know that these cards have been heavy. They've been relatively heavy for all of the signs that have come before you. I'm using the Xultún Tarot deck. It is a Mayan calendar tarot deck. And yes, the Mayan calendar, their New Year's is actually July. So just a different system where when looking to the sun and the moon, there are different cycles. And so while the Gregorian calendar is bullshit, we are also looking at, for us, the Lunar New Year happens on February 17th. So that time between the solstice and then is really this time in suspension and the pause of the winter, and that is what is meant to happen. There isn't supposed to be hustle bustle time. This is supposed to be recharge time. That is what I would love for the collective, but it doesn't look like we're getting it. But let's see what Pisces has going on this week. Yeah, you have, I believe, yeah, you have the moon. You have the moon card. Look at you. And so Pisces, for you, like I've said last week, like just the collective in general has not been getting the rest at night that they need. So if you need nighttime to tap into more creative wind downs versus watching a program, like watching a screen is different than, say, doing like a knitting craft or like a painting craft, writing, like physically writing in a book craft, because screens like force us into thinking that it's daytime a lot of the time. So if you do nighttime crafts, have a better wind down system so that you aren't being kept up by things that are intrusively not even your own thoughts, especially if you're watching something on the TV or your phone. If you're watching, or like if you're reading a book, yes, you're being fed something, but you're being fed something that is at the pace of a story, of a unified story, versus even if you watch the news, they're broken up bits that will cause your thoughts to race more. So Pisces, invite more wind down time, and do this throughout the day too, wherever you can find things wherever you can sit with a cup of tea or coffee, whatever it is, take those moments of wind down. Everybody, literally almost everybody has this card in their reading, so it's nothing to fear. It is just where the collective is at. This is the Hierophant reversed. Hierophant reversed is saying that there are belief systems that we have that need to go away, that we need to grow out of or change. And it's as easy as the, stop believing in Santa Claus because he's not real. But it's as complicated as a belief you might have about people, about an organization, about a religion, that might fall away. And it's being okay with you have found a different way. And like I've said, it's been a theme that I have seen for the better part of the last decade, where I will watch people who were like chasing maybe Kundalini rising, or I've watched people burn their tarot decks because all of a sudden they found Jesus and they needed to do that. And I likewise have seen people, I forget what it is called when you leave the church, or like deprogram. I don't know if that's what you get when you leave the church, but I've seen people swing both ways, because for one, in the spectrum of people in extremes, like there's actual atheists, there's people that are kind of on the fence, and then there's the extremists, there's the people who are really hard into igniting their Shaktis, or hard Christians, and that switch is a lot easier for them than going full atheist. I don't know what it's going to look like for you, Pisces. I'm not telling you to abandon whatever your practices are. I'm just saying that you could have life-altering belief shifts at this time, and it might even, not on a spiritual sense, it could just be the man behind the curtain has been revealed, and that is where collectively society is at, where we're seeing all these systems that have been in place, where they are false and not in our best interest a lot of the time. So Pisces, it's gonna look like whatever it's gonna look like for you. Don't get so stuck in your head about it. That moon card is asking you to really still find the downtime and time for yourself, time for you to not get caught and lost in your head, time for you to unwind. You have the Judgment card. It's right side up. The Judgment card is saying that you don't need an outside opinion. You have a gut knowing for when something is right or wrong. 80% of us in human design are generators, and the generators have a gut knowing. It's either a yes, a mm-hmm, or a mm-mm. There is no words. It's just it's yummy or it's disgusting, and that is it. So Pisces, if you tune out outside noise, listen to your own inner knowing, you're gonna get that gut feeling of a yummy or yucky. Yeah? All right, that is what the reading is telling for you. But what I have been doing, Pisces, is that I've been pulling a card from the Flower of Life deck for everybody, so that we get a sense of a thing to meditate on if you need. And so for you, look, you got this nice sakura. Here's my ring light. Here's the flowers. And so for you, be peace. Love is beyond thoughts, feelings, and emotions. It's a state of being, an expression of the all, fully experienced by being in each moment. Don't think about being in the moment, just be. From this moment, you can choose to be at peace and in the flow of love, no matter what is going on around you. Today, the life you have truly wants to begin. All right, Pisces, so yeah, you have to choose your peace. It's gonna come from you. It's not gonna come from outside source. Pisces, I hope this helps. Hopefully your pre-shadow goes well, as it does contain the Lunar New Year. And I'll see you next week. Bye.